Today we are going to learn interaction and behavior modeling. Under that, we are going to learn activity diagram in detail. Before starting with the lecture, let me introduce myself. I am Poonam Mahale, Assistant Professor of Kekewak College of Engineering, Education and Research. So let's start with the today's lecture with the objective. So objective of today's lecture. At the end of the today's lecture, you are able to understand the basic of unified modeling language. You are able to understand interaction and behavior modeling with the help of activity diagram. So first, that is activity diagram. Activity diagram used to describe the dynamic aspects of the system. Activity diagram is similar with your flow chart. Activity diagram is defined as a UML diagram that focuses on execution and flow of the behavior of the system instead of implementation. It is also called as an object-oriented flowchart, as an activity diagram shows the flow from activity to activity. An activity is an ongoing automatic execution activities, and ultimately it results in some actions, and that actions encompasses calling another operations. An activity diagram visually presents a series of action or a flow of control in the system, and that's why activity diagram is also known as an flowchart of unified modeling language. Activity diagram includes activities and action. Activities are nothing but an behavior that is divided into one or more actions. Activities are a network of nodes that are connected by edges. Activities are nothing but an functions or the role that played by the actors. We can draw an activity diagram or activity state using a rectangle with rounded corner. So to represent activity, a notation that is used is nothing but an rectangle with rounded corner. Suppose a user ATM card holder is performing an activity that is insert card. So this activity is represented in this manner in activity diagram, that is rounded rectangle with actions or activity. Another activity like receive order. Suppose customer have ordered something and now customer is going to receive order. So receive order is activity, and that is represented in the rounded rectangle. Next is nothing but an, in the activity diagram there are certain symbols that we are going to use. One is activity. To start activity diagram, we need to identify initial activity. So to represent initial activity, a small field rectangle, so a small field circle followed by an arrow we use, and that represents the start point of the activity. Activity generally focuses on dynamic aspects of the system, and to start particular activity, initial activity is important. A process can have only one initial state. Each and every activity diagram contains only one initial node, whereas it can have a multiple final node. initial activity is represented by a field, a small circle followed by arrow. After that arrow, activity like insert card, then receive order. Such activities will become or will added in sequential manner. A final activity is the state in which the system reaches when a particular process or activity ends. So to represent the end of the activities, a final state is used, which is known as an end state. To represent end state, we use a arrow followed by field circle and one empty circle. So final activity is represented with the help of this notation. Next is nothing but a decision node, which is used in the activity diagram. A decision node, when an activity requires a decision prior to moving on to the next activity, we generally use a diamond between two activities. To represent a decision, a diamond symbol is used. Again, the outgoing alternates should be labeled with a condition or guard expression. You can also label one of the path else. So we'll see how to represent decision node. So this is a symbol of decision node. Suppose this is an example to represent a decision node. See, when we need to make a decision before deciding the flow of control, we use a decision node. Suppose one particular customer order a product. So order product is an guard condition which is represented in the rectangle. Uh, yes. And next is nothing but an whether that order he can accept or reject. So to represent the decision accept and reject, we use a decision node that is nothing but an diamond symbol, right? So diamond rectangle is used to represent a decision node. So if order is accepted, then next activities will be performed. If order is rejected, then rejection related activities are carried out. So this is decision node. To merge decision or to combine decision, we required a merge node. So bring back together different decision path that were created using a decision node, we use a merge node. So a merge event that brings multiple flows that are not concurrent. So to combine decision nodes, we use a merge node. Again, a decision node can have only one input but multiple output, whereas merge node can have a multiple input flows but a single output flow. So choice 1 and choice 2, that choices are merged and further activities are performed. Suppose I can select uh, a Domino's margarita pizza, or I can select a paneer pizza. After that, next activity, that is pay bill, is the common activity, and to represent, to combine the decision, we need a node, and that is nothing but a merge node. That in such cases we have to use a merge node. Next is nothing but a next component that generally used in the activity diagram is nothing but an synchronization. There are two types of activities: sequential activities and concurrent activities. So the activities that can be performed one after the other are called sequential activities, whereas the computer system can perform more than one activities at a time, right? So the activities that can be performed at the same time are called concurrent activities or parallel activities. So the concurrent activities can split in several activities or can join and merge in the same action. In the activity diagram, the concurrent activities are represented with the help of forking and joining. So the fork and join in activity diagram is used to represent the synchronization. So a fork node is used to split a single incoming activity or flow into multiple concurrent activities. Suppose I want to take I want to pay bills, I want to pay admission, I want to pay fee for admission. In the same activity, parallelly I can pay fee of hostel, I can pay fee of fees of sports or gymkhana, I can pay fees of education, right? So these are the concurrent activities that can be performed. So to represent these parallel activities, we use a synchronization bar, that is nothing but an fork. So a join node is used to join a multiple concurrent flows back into a single outgoing flow. So to combine multiple activities in one particular activity, we use a join. So synchronization bar are represented by a thick horizontal vertical bars. So fork generally represents the separation of two control flow. Understood? And join represents joining of two control flow. So if we want to separate two activities, then you can use a fork. And if you want to join that activities back, then you can go with join. Basically, fork is used to represent a synchronization. Sequential and concurrent activities are represented. So a fork and join mode is used together are often referred as an synchronization. So we'll see a notation for the fork and synchronization. So fork generally splits behavior into a set of two parallel or concurrent activities, whereas join bring back together a set of parallel or concurrent activity. So this is an example, or this is an representation of fork and join. Suppose I have one activity and that activities are split into a multiple activities. To represent that, I can use a fork. So fork node is represented with horizontal thick bar, right? Whereas to join that parallel activities, we use a join node, which is the same notation for the both are same, that is horizontal thick bar, right? But first bar is known as an fork, when where you join the multiple activities is known as an join node. So if you consider an example of one activity is there, that is process order can include a send invoice or invoke shipping services. So to represent send invoice and invoke shipping services, I can use a fork before that, right? And after, to represent a dispatch order activity, before representing dispatch order, I'll join the bar and then I'll show the dispatch order activity. So this is the way where you can use fork and join. Next node or next important entity or component of activity diagram is nothing but a swim lane and partition. So swim lane is nothing but a way to group activities performed by same actor on an activity diagram, or to group activities in a single thread. Basically, in activity diagram, we generally represent activity diagram is nothing but a flow of the system or the flow chart. But to represent who is responsible for performing particular activity, we can use a swim lanes. So swim lane, under the swim lane, this is a notation for swim lane. So here the swim lane, where we have written a swim lane, instead of that we have to write the actor name, and in under that actor we have to write the activities that are performed by the actor. right? So this is the how where we partition the activities by considering the actors, and that's why this diagram is known as a swim lane, because here the lanes for the actors are defined and the activities performed by the actor are represented in that particular lane, like our swimming lane, and that's why these activity diagram is known as a swim lane diagram. So this is an example of swim lane diagram where actor X and actor Y. Actor X is responsible for performing activity 1, 2 and 4. After that, actor Y is responsible for performing another activities. So activities that are played by actor X are represented in the actor X lanes, whereas activities that are performed by the actor Y are represented in the actor Y lanes. And that's why these lane representation is known as a swim lane. So this is all about activity diagram and their notation. Now we'll see the example of activity diagram. Here they have considered the order processing system. So this is a scenario of order processing. Once the order is received, the activity is split into two parallel set of activity. One side fills and sends the order while the other side handles the billing. On the fill order side, the method of delivery is decided depending on the condition. Either the overnight delivery activity or regular delivery activity is performed. So this is a description of the problem. How we can draw a activity diagram for this problem. So this is an example of this scenario. First, what we do, it is a field circle represent the initial activity. After receiving a order, which is the first activity, that is receive order, there are multiple activities that are performed parallelly, that is fill order and send invoice. Fill order, in the fill order there are two conditions, that is if that order is rush order, then arrange overnight delivery. Else that means it is a regular order, so arrange regular delivery. And that arrange overnight delivery and regular delivery are merged with the help of same decision box or merge node. While doing this, there are another activity which is parallelly going, that is receive payment. So these parallel activities are represented with the help of fork, the upper horizontal bar, and entire activities are joined with the lower thick horizontal bar, and end activity is shown by the filled circle with the empty circle. So this is a representation of processing order activity diagram. Now, this is another example of library management system, where library management system includes two important thing, that is return book and search book. So one person can arrive and he can return book or search book, right? So there are two conditions. So first, which activity will be performed? Whether that particular student or user is a member or not. After verifying a membership, we can return a book, or that particular person can search a book. So he can return or search. So these are the two parallel activities or concurrent activities. And to represent this, we have use of fork. If they if we want to return a book, check number of days. If less than 21 days, collect the book and delete the record or delete the book record from the member record, right? So issue entry will be cleared. If more than 21 days, then collect file, print receipt. These are the activities that are carried out. Again, these all are carried out if he want to return the book. But if he want to search the book, he'll check whether the book is available or not. If book is available, he can issue the book by considering by validating members, check books. If number of book record or if number of book issued is less than 3, he can issue book. If it is greater than 3, he cannot issue book. Again, first we check whether the book is available or not. If not available, then he cannot able to issue or he cannot able to proceed. So there are multiple final activities, and to represent multiple activities, we have used multiple final node. And after that, here join is used to join entire activity. And lastly, we update the book details or the record, and we end up with the library management system. So this is how we draw a library management system. So in today's lecture, we have learned the activity diagram, notation used in the activity diagram, components of activity diagram, and examples of activity diagram. So hope you have understood entire thing. Still, if you have any doubts, any questions, you can drop your questions on in the comment box. Thank you.